everyone, welcome back to my channel. It has been so long since I have been in front of the camera. Like all the other videos that you saw were filmed before, and this is like the most up-to-date video that I'm filming, like recent, like current, like in time. Excited, and I'm just so excited to talk about all the books that I love, all the books that I didn't like. 2024 has been a real roller coaster for me. Just a lot of changes from like the beginning of this year up until now. And yeah, but I'm just grateful to be here and to talk about all the books that I love and like just, yeah, fangirl about everything that I loved. Let's get started. So I'm first going to talk about the books with the lowest rating, and then I'll talk about the books with the highest rating. So the first book in my lowest rating category, I have The Journey to Allah by Ibn Rajab al-Hanbali, and this one I gave 3 stars. The thing about this was the writing was just not for me. Like, that was the only thing. The content was good. Everything was fine with it. I mean, it's about spirituality, of course, and connecting, you know, with God. But it was just the writing for me did not act. And I think that's what made it hard for me to even enjoy it. Despite it being, like, a really good book and probably has really good content, it's just the writing was just, again, not for me. The second book that I have here is A Handbook of Spiritual Medicine by Ibn Dawood, and this one I gave 4 stars. Change like the spiritual sicknesses that you have within your heart through like either your lifestyle or through certain prayers or through changing your way of thinking. And again, it was a really great book and everything, but it's just the book I read at least had some missing pages. That was my only thing, and that's why I gave it 4 stars. But other than that, if it didn't have missing pages, it's like I would give it a 5 out of 5 because, like, again, the content is really great in the book. It's well organized, and again, it has really good pointers and tips on how to deal with like the spiritual sicknesses of the heart. This one is a part of a longer series, but these are like 2 individual books from the series that I didn't necessarily like too much. And so number 3 on my list for lowest ratings is Nana Volume 15. This one wasn't bad because it was talking about the struggle of friendship and, like, you know, how friendships can be hard in relationships. But I think there's just certain types of relationships, and if you know, that just get you so angry, and you know, like, a certain character should not be in that relationship, but they are. And the worst part is that they're, like, aware that they shouldn't be in that relationship, but they are. Again, you know if you know. So a lot of tension between characters, which also made it kind of a little bit upsetting. I'm like, no, don't do this, guys. Don't do this here. And oh my gosh, this one, real emotional, real depressing. I mean, it's volume 15, so like it was coming close to like the end, like midway point of like the series. Last book in my lowest rating category is Nana Volume 16, again by Ayazawa. This one I gave a 4 out of 5. Now, the thing about this volume, so this is the next volume after 15, complete heartbreak. Like, complete heartbreak. Hatred for certain characters just increased. And just the ugly sides of, like, the music industry are really, really shown within this volume. And it just, like, made me, like, sick and just angry again. It really gets to you. Like, she really taps into, like, your emotions. Like, she can tap into hate. She can tap into, like, real sadness, real depression. I mean, I'm telling you, like, it is just so powerful and so good. But again, it's not to say that like I didn't necessarily enjoy reading it, but it was like depressing. It was really depressing, and I'm just like, damn, like I feel like I can't catch a breath. Like, this is like, it was a lot. So now I'm going to be talking about the highest rating books and just series of this year. A lot of them, pretty much all of them, were 5 stars. Like, none of these were like a 4 star. Like, every single one of these was a 5 star. Was I being too generous or whatnot? To be honest, I don't think so, because again, I was like invested in each and every one of these stories. So yeah, they're all great. The first book I'll talk about is The Power of Dua by Alia Rayyan, and she also has a podcast that she does with Sister Lainka and Sister Sumaya. It's called Honest Tea Talks. If you want to hear more about her, or yeah, more about her, but also her talking about, like, you know, faith and just like connecting with God and just life struggles and just real things that everybody goes through, like, definitely give the podcast a listen. This podcast, I kid you not, got me through like just the earlier parts of, like, what was it? They stopped like I think 2020. So like before 2020, like I used to listen to them all the time. And now that they're back after like 4 years, I'm just like, yes. But anyways, they're great speakers. So all of them are great speakers. Powerful words, just wise women. The thing I loved about this book in particular, The Power of Dua, was just like this book really highlights the importance of just your words and the words that you speak, not only to like God, but even to yourself, and just like how the things that you want are not necessarily like impossible, like they're possible, and they may not necessarily happen in the way that you think they will, and sometimes you won't necessarily get what you want, but you'll get something even better and something that's even more fitting for you than what you asked for. That just made this book so enjoyable and made me even want to like make more dua. Like it made me fall in love with dua, and like the way I listened to the audiobook for this, and the author is the one who's reading the book, and it's just so beautiful. The second book that I absolutely loved from this year was Yotuba and Volume 1 to 15 by Azuma Kiyohiko. It's the same mangaka that wrote Azuma Gadayo, which I raved about so much earlier this year. Like the anime, so good, so funny. So Yotuba and, I mean, I've talked about this so many times, but if I must reiterate just how good it is, let me go down the list. So basically, it is just a funny story about this little girl and just how she goes about her days and, you know, messing around with the neighbors and her dad, and just how she views the world. And so adorable. She is just so cute, and like you can't help but love her and just all the silly stuff that she does. Like it is just the best. Yeah, and I just also love how like the adults, they play into like the silly stuff that she loves, like all her shenanigans, and they're like, oh yeah, you're a total princess, or oh yeah, like let's play along. And like it is just so funny how like they just interact with her. I just think that this book was just a beautiful representation of just community and just supporting one another, and especially like the young kids. And again, it's just such a great book, like so warm-hearted and so funny. Yotuba, again, is so adorable, and I'm waiting for the day that an anime will be released of this, because I would literally watch it. Like it is just it's gonna be fire. I just know it's gonna be fire. The third series I read this year, absolutely loved, Spy X Family Volume 10 to 13 by Endo Tatsuya. And this one, again, is just a continuation of Anya, Lloyd, and Yor, and just their adventures together. In volume like 10 to 13, there's just a lot more adventure from Yor and Anya, and I love seeing that, because up until I would say like 10, it's pretty much like from Lloyd, so like Twilight the spy, from his perspective. There's some perspective from like Anya and Yor here and there, but I feel like within these volumes there's more of like Anya's like story being told, and Yor too, like well not their story, but more of like their adventures, like the things that they do, right? And so many funny parts. I had so many screenshots from these like volumes, and it was just so funny. Fourth series I read this year is A Side Character's Love Story, Volume 1 to 18 by Tamura Akane. This one, I loved every single minute of it. I mean, this is just the perfect slow burn love story. It has everything. Two college students falling in love ever so slowly, but ever so beautifully too at the same time. And they're just trying to get to know each other. They're wanting to make sure that they make each other feel comfortable, and they're both introverts, and it is just pure, like, it is amazing. It is so good, and I love this so much. And again, warmed my heart, so relatable too. Talked about like, you know, finding a job and just graduating and wanting to be there for, you know, your partner or the people you care about, and just real life stuff that you can relate to. And at the same, it was such a calming, cute, like love story. I absolutely loved it. It was so enjoyable. It got like kicking my feet. Like I'm like, oh my god, so cute. Yeah, it was amazing. Fifth manga series that I read this year is Akane Banashi Volume 4 to 10. Loved about this, like within these volumes, is just the progression of the story, the character development. Akane, I mean, like, her talent is really developing really well. The Japanese performance world that she's a part of, just more about that, like the hierarchies and the people that, you know, make or break, you know, your career as like an artist, a performer. It is just amazing. It is so entertaining. A lot of funny parts, so many cute parts. So number 6 I have here is Hirayasumi Volume 1 to 7. What I loved about this manga series is just another like realistic, like life sort of manga, like adulting, just raw emotions, like everyday emotions that people feel, like jealousy or doubt or insecurity of, like, you know, yourself and your own ability, like all those real things. But then I also just love how this manga series is so like just relaxing. Like, it's just so comforting. It's nicely paced, and just you fall in love with each character. So many funny moments. I mean, it is just so amazing. It's just such a great comfort book to read. So number 7 here, I have this one. This one rocked my world. This one rocked my world. I'm telling you, I first started watching the anime, and it, like, at first I was a bit hesitant to even watch the anime. I was like, I don't know how good it is. Oh my gosh. I was a fool to underestimate this because it was so good. It is just so amazing, and that is Nana. I am like, oh my god. It started off basically because I saw these YouTube shorts by this one creator. I can't remember her name, but she was doing like these like cosplay of like the main characters from Nana, and I'm like, huh, it kind of seems interesting, and I'm like, you know what, let me give it a try. Oh my gosh, I did not know what I was getting into. It takes you, like I said, through every emotion possible. You get happy for these girls, you get sad, you get angry, you get frustrated. It makes you question things. It makes you really think about relationships and friendships and, like, you know, achieving your dreams and whatnot. And like, especially the music industry, man. Like, this year and the music industry, and just even reading Nana, I'm like, this is really ironic. Like, you know, like, it makes you question about just the arts and just like music making and all this other stuff. And so the 8th manga series that I read this year, absolutely love, 5 out of 5 stars. Matcha Made in Heaven, volume 1 to 7. Cute love story, age gap romance, talks about tea and like just how tea is grown, just the significance of certain teas. So funny too. So number 9, the 9th manga series I read this year, absolutely loved, is This Love is Strawberry Sweet by Sonokoi wa Ichigo no Yuni. I read volume 1 to 4 because 4 is the last one. An amazing series, very sweet as the title says, but it's also really relatable, a lot of life stuff. And this is another romance age gap, and also about like, so this one centers around like strawberries and how strawberries are grown and whatnot, because the main male lead, he like has like a strawberry, or his family has like a strawberry farm and whatnot. So yeah, that is really cute, and just so like, oh, like, this one got me kicking my feet. It's just so cute, so adorable. The next series I read is Choking on Love, volume 1 to 3. What I loved about this one, it was a very unique like story, at least to me, because it's like the characters, they pretty much got together pretty quickly, honest communication, and the main male lead is like such a character. Like, he is a vibe, he is a total vibe, and I love him. So cute. Like, I don't know, I just love him. I have a special place for him in my heart. He's just so adorable. And I also love the female lead too as well. And just, it is just such a good story. Like, again, college students, right, young adults, and like, you know, you got this main male lead who's like, you know, into music and with his band, and you got, you know, the female lead into art and whatnot and serious about her work, and it's just them combined together is just so cute. Number 11, I've mentioned this so many times, I literally have a separate video. A Man and His Cat, volume 10 to 11 by Umi Sakurai. What I love about volume 10 to 11 is that there's more character development, more background on like the characters, and again, just a continuation of just the cuteness of the cats, and just more cat lovers are involved now. And I haven't gone back to it because, again, there's been so many other mangas I've been reading, and just like, and that's my problem too. Like, I just be discovering other mangas to read, and I'm like, oh, this one looks interesting, then I'll start reading that one, and then there'll be a point where I'm like, okay, I think I've read enough of this, but I won't necessarily be finished, and then I'll start another one. It's terrible. But I definitely want to jump back. I think volume 12 and 13 are already out. If not 13, I think volume 12 is already out too. So yeah, I definitely want to read those, and just read more about just this, you know, old man and just like everybody else who loved cats. Okay, so number 12, and we're coming to the end. Number 12 is This Uncle Likes Cute Things, volume 1 by Tsutomu. This one, again, another cute story about an old man who is in love, this time with cute things, loves everything that is cute. It is just so, like, again, nice to just see like older people just completely invested in what they love, and just, you know, really like owning it. The main character, he at first like kind of keeps that side of him that likes cute things like private, but as the story progresses on, he meets more people and he starts to open up more, and it's just, again, so beautiful to see him grow in that way, and then just the things that happen to him in order for him to grow in that way. And again, it's just so like wonderful and just nice. I really wish that there was a volume 2. I think there is, but I'm not sure. I need to check because I haven't checked in like such a long time, and I think I read this like earlier in the year too, so there's that. The last book with my highest rating, and to be honest, I don't think I'll continue on despite me liking this, right? But at the same time, like, you know what, I think I just, because I started off watching the anime of this next one, number 13, but and then I read the manga because my brother kind of also egged me on. He's like, the manga's really good too, you should read it. And I read it, and the manga is pretty good, but I don't think I'll be continuing reading it. That is Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 20 by Gege Akutami. Really good one because there was a lot of action, and it really felt like it was like coming from the anime. Like the action that you see in the anime, it's like quite literally copy and paste happening in like Volume 20. Like it literally feels like I'm watching it. So that's what I absolutely loved about Volume 20. I had a more good time watching the anime than I did reading the manga. But yeah, again, that's not to say that Volume 20 wasn't good. It was good. Again, a lot of action. Literally felt like the anime was on paper. Again, I think moving forward, I'd much rather watch the anime than read the manga. So yeah, those are all the mini-series that I read in 2024. I absolutely loved pretty much every single one, and each one had like such different sort of vibes, from like being really cutesy and whatnot to being really like action-packed to just being really super funny and depressing. I'm looking at you, Nana. But other than that, it was just a really good reading year. And there's a lot of other books that I actually started reading that I would like to also share within this video. So let's get into that. So I started this manga series called Usotoki Rhetoric. This one's basically about this girl named Kanako, right? Yeah, Kanako. And basically she can tell when someone's lying. Like she has the ability to see if someone's lying or not. And it has gotten her a lot of trouble where she's from. So she moves, and then she befriends this detective who's like, hey, your skill is very useful, so why don't you come over with me and we can work together. And so that's what they do. Basically, they work together solving mysteries with her ability to tell how people lie and whatnot. So like there's so much more to that, but I just love like the whole detective like finding mystery and whatnot. Like it is so interesting to me, and I just love that like component of her having the ability to be able to tell when someone's lying. Also, when I was reading it kind of reminded me of like the Apothecary's Diary. I'm on volume 3 right now. I kind of paused reading, so I read volume 1 and volume 2, but I paused reading volume 3. I'm like in the close to the middle of volume 3, and that is because I jumped back into reading Webtoon, and oh my gosh, I've been missing out a lot. Like there's been Webtoons that I have seen but I haven't necessarily read because I'm like, I don't know if it's really for me. I got like kind of stagnant with like reading manga, so I was like, let me just jump back to Webtoon, you know, revive myself a little bit. I'm so glad I did. That was the right decision to make. So the first one, okay, I'm gonna start off from my list that I'm like actively reading is, okay, this is by the same creator of True Beauty, which also became a Korean drama and is also now an animated show. I didn't watch the animated show. Korean drama is, I would say, is enough for me, at least. Yeah, the same creator who made that now has another manhwa on Webtoon called Return Your Soul, and this one's a fantasy one. So, and it's fantasy and historical. Art is as good as it was in True Beauty, and it is just so good. The next one is the Mafia Nanny, and this one, oh, damn, I think I'm caught up. So good. Basically, this woman, she is like hired by this mafia guy to look after his son, and she, you know, has these rules and protocols that she has to follow. And as a mafia nanny, she like has much more higher expectations than a regular nanny. Like, again, so entertaining. The art is so funny. Like that's what got me like really hooked onto this. This one is the Key Sisters. Now see, this one I kind of stopped reading this, and I don't necessarily think I'll continue on reading it. And the thing is, I started reading this way before, like, now there's like the whole memes of like queens don't cry, And I didn't like, I was completely like oblivious, like, wait, that's in this, the one I'm reading, you know? I feel like that also factored into me not wanting to continue on to read, because I'm like kind of being spoiled, you know? A child who looks like me, basically the main male lead, he like gets into a coma, forgets everything, and even forgets the woman that he loves and the fact that they have a child. And it is just like, it's such a, like, this would be such a great Korean drama. I was like reading this, I'm like, this needs to be a Korean drama. Make this a Korean drama right now. Like, it has everything. Bad mother-in-law. This one I'm actively reading. Like, okay, usually I read webtoons at night, right? But this one I'm reading it in the morning. Like, that is how much I love it. Like, I'm like, no, I can't. Like, this, I love this. I love this. And this one is called Maybe Meant to Be, and season 2 came out of this one. And so I'm just so excited to like I'm trying to like grab as much as I possibly can of this series before, like, you know, Webtoon does that thing where it's like what is it? It's like you have that like 1 day access, and it's like opens at like 10 p.m. and it's only until then that you can start reading it. Yeah, no, I wanna, the episodes are free right now. You can just breeze through it. I want to breeze through it into season 2 because it is so good. Like Gia and then Mitchell, like, they are perfect together, and I love Mitchell. Mitchell's so funny. It's such a character. I love her, and just every other character that comes into the story. You know, this is another like mature love story. They're both 32. Not to say that they're both mature. It feels new to me. It feels just like very funny and just like entertaining and so deep too at the same time. And I'm like, girl, like, and yeah. Okay, so the next one is Love for a Walk. This one's basically two dog lovers slowly fall in love. There's also a manga called Pup Opposites Attract. I ordered those books too, and I'm waiting for them to come in. They're kind of basically similar, but I love Love for a Walk because, oh my gosh, like, again, it's like two people who love animals slowly falling in love. Realities of just like, you know, people and their backgrounds, and like how sometimes the past can like affect how you move forward, and like feeling attached to like, you know, whatever for the sake of like comfort, but not really allowing yourself to like move on and grow as a person, you know? So again, so amazing, so good. The next one, okay, this one's a new one. This one's also a new one. It's called Dagger to the Heart, and basically this assassin is supposed to kill the princess. He goes to kill the princess, but she puts like this weird spell on him where he basically can't kill her. Even when he wants to, like, intentionally, like, to kill her, he can't. Can I just say, I love me a black queen. Can we just all clap for a black queen in this? When I saw that, and again, the art style, I'm like, can I get a... Yes, that's what I want to see. Yeah, that is it for this video. See you in my next video. Bye-bye.